Every living thing has to make sense of the world around it just to get by. For us, it's pretty simple, right? We've got our five classic senses: sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste. That's how we build our reality.
But what about the rest of the animal kingdom? How do they experience the world? Well, let me tell you, the answers are way more extraordinary than you could possibly imagine.
So let's start our tour beneath the waves, in a world where the very rules of perception get turned upside down. We're going to look at some of the superpowers of aquatic animals. First up, I want you to meet the catfish. Now, forget just tasting with your tongue. This creature has a sense of taste that is completely alien to us. So how on earth does this work? Well, the catfish is basically a swimming tongue. No, really. Its entire body is covered in taste buds, and they're especially packed into those whisker-like barbels around its mouth. This means it can literally taste its next meal in the water long before it ever sees it, and it can pinpoint its exact location. That is a huge advantage, especially when you're hunting in dark, murky water. Okay, now let's jump from taste to sight. And when it comes to vision, almost nothing can compete with the mantis shrimp. I mean, just look at this comparison. Where we see a pretty limited range of colors, they see a world exploding with colors we can't even comprehend, including ultraviolet light. And get this, while our two eyes are stuck moving together, theirs move independently. They can look in two different directions at once. And this isn't just some cool party trick. This unbelievable vision is a serious survival tool. In the visual chaos of a coral reef, it lets the mantis shrimp spot predators instantly and pick out prey with incredible accuracy. It's a total game changer. All right, let's climb out of the water and onto dry land, where a whole different set of sensory superpowers have evolved to rule the day. Here on land, the sense of smell is king. And the grizzly bear, well, the grizzly bear wears the crown. Its ability to smell is legendary, letting it lock onto a potential meal from miles and miles away. So what's the secret? It's all about the hardware. We're talking about millions upon millions of olfactory nerve cells just crammed into its nose, all sending data straight to the brain. This amazing sense isn't just for finding a snack. It's absolutely crucial for sniffing out danger and even for finding a mate. Now, let's switch gears from smell to touch. But this isn't touch like you and I know it. For a spider, the world isn't really seen or heard, it's felt. You see, those tiny little hairs on a spider's legs are actually super sensitive motion detectors. The tiniest tremor from a fly landing on its web travels right through the silk threads and gets picked up by these hairs. The web essentially becomes an extension of the spider's own body, letting it see and create a map of its world using nothing but vibrations. How cool is that? The spider's ability to feel its world is, well, it's just amazing. But believe it or not, it's not the only creature with an unbelievable sense of touch. Some animals have taken it to an even more incredible level. So, what are you looking at here? Just the number 22? This number is the key to understanding one of the most bizarre and highly specialized creatures on the entire planet, the star-nosed mole. Those 22 appendages you see form a fleshy, star-shaped nose, and it's covered with thousands of ultra-sensitive touch receptors. Because this mole lives in complete darkness underground, it uses this star to rapidly tap its surroundings, building a detailed 3D picture of its world so it can feel even the tiniest little insect to eat. This quote from our source material really just sums it up perfectly. For an animal that can't use its eyes, its sense of touch has evolved to be so precise and so detailed that its nose really does function like a third eye. And for our last example of these amazing talents, let's talk about the butterfly. It combines senses in a really unique way. First, it uses its antenna to smell the air and find a flower. But how does it know if it's the right one? Well, it lands and tastes the flower with its feet. This lets it instantly know if it's found the right food source. Just imagine being able to taste your dinner simply by standing on it. So, what's the big takeaway from all this? From tasting with your skin to building a 3D map with your nose, we've seen just how diverse and flat-out extraordinary the sensory world can be. What's so clear is that there is no single true reality. Each of these animals lives in a world that's shaped entirely by its own unique senses. And these aren't just fascinating quirks, they are the absolute key to their survival, each one perfectly tuned to the challenges of its environment.
And that kind of leaves us with one final thought. If you could borrow the senses of any animal for just one day to see the world like a mantis shrimp, to smell it like a bear, or feel it like a spider, which sense would you choose to experience?